So in the boyfriend tag video, I mentioned this would be a video. It's been a long time coming. My PMS rant. Now typically I don't like to talk about that time of the month. Maybe I talk about it to a few close girlfriends, but other than that, I think it's a private, personal thing that should be treated with discretion and cleanliness, and no one needs to know. And can I first just stop right here and say, girls, ladies, please, wrap up your stuff. When throwing away whatever you need to throw away in the trash, wrap it up with toilet paper. No one needs to know what brand of pads you're using. Practice discretion. Wrap it up. Okay, I just had to finally get that out there. Now back to what I was saying. This isn't a normal topic for me, and actually we're not going to be talking about the grand opening. Is that, can we call it that? Is that gross? We're talking about that lovely little side effect that comes with it. Let's break it down. PMS is the worst. It doesn't get nearly enough credit as it should. It's not justly justified enough. For me personally, my PMS comes in, let's say, 3 waves. And usually it really starts about 3 days before the grand event. Maybe like a week, but it doesn't really hit full-fledged until a few days before. Day 1, irritability. For no good reason. Sometimes it's like I just wake up irritated and I don't know why, which is even more irritating. And the whole day I just feel like everything is pushing my buttons that don't normally ever exist, buttons I didn't even know I had, and there's no real way to appease it or logically think through it or talk about it. It's super annoying, and I feel bad for Quinn because he usually gets the brunt of it. Sometimes I pick fights for no reason and it's totally irrational, kind of like a kid. Like when a kid is throwing a fit or crying and they don't know why, like there was nothing that set it off, or it was something ridiculous, like their fruit snack was blue instead of green, or their shoelaces look funny, or something touched them, I don't know. Day 2 is depression and bloating. And when I say depression, I go into this really dark place where life is just awful and I'm not okay and nothing's okay and it's never gonna get better. It's like a pessimist paradise where I'm just super negative and low and the world is bleak, and it's totally unrealistically bad and just ridiculous, but it's hard to see that because it feels so real and so strong. So for about 24 hours I'm just in this sucky state of mind, and then it doesn't help that I feel bloated and pudgy on top of that. It's like, oh, my life sucks and my pants are tight today. And then day 3 is just extreme fatigue. I'm falling asleep at my desk, I'm falling asleep while driving, anytime I'm sitting, I have the hardest time keeping my eyes open. It's this intense exhaustion. I was telling my friend Katrina, I feel like there should be extra sick days just for this, like 2 extra floating holidays, because the world, and when I say the world, I mean dudes, just don't know. Now maybe some of you think I'm exaggerating or being over the top with this. Maybe some of you ladies are lucky and don't experience bad PMS or symptoms. I myself am one of the lucky ones that don't experience bad cramping, but I know women where it knocks them out for like a day or 2 or more. I'll have some cramping and discomfort, but it's not unbearable. Then again, I'm not very in tune with my body. Like, you know, there's some people who are very aware and they can tell when something's off and they can instantly be like, I have a headache, or that hurts. And again, comparing myself to a child, am like one of those kids who doesn't realize they're hurt until maybe they see blood. Like they fall and scrape their leg and they're fine until they look down and see it, and then they're like, ah! I'm kind of like that. I like that I'm not super sensitive to some of that stuff because I can be sick and still generally feel good and go to work and still function. Pain does not stop this girl. Headache, not today. Cold, you better check yourself. And I have totally gotten off topic. The last thing I want to say about PMS is it is a delicate dance. Even though it's hormones making you crazy and what you're feeling is just irrational, you're still feeling it. The worst thing someone can say, and when I say someone, I mean guys, so please listen up, besides telling a woman to calm down because that's just the dumbest thing you could ever say to a woman ever, the second thing you should never say or ask is, are you PMSing? Is this PMS? It's your time of the month, isn't it? In that one little sentence or question, you totally invalidate everything we're feeling. And what we're feeling right now is strong and raging. One thing I've been trying to get better about is keeping track. You would think after going through this 12 times a year for many years now, I would just kind of have this down. Like, oh, it's that time, that's why I'm feeling irritable, and that's why I'm depressed and fatigued, and I'll just give it a couple days and it'll go away and it's okay. Nope, it still sneaks up on me. Usually towards the end of day 2, I'm like, oh, that's why the world just seems like the most horrible place right now. And sometimes I don't even realize it. It's not until the grand finale that I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense. So I've been trying to watch out for it now so I can try to emotionally prepare myself and maybe prepare Quinn. But the thing that really sucks is even if I know, like I know I'm feeling really crappy because of PMS, it doesn't make it any better. Like you would think logic would win out, right? Like 1 + 1 = 2. I'm feeling really sensitive right now because I'm hormonal. But no, because regardless of the reason, I am still very strongly feeling those things. And in that moment, those feelings are real. Men, I feel bad for you. But at the same time, kind of not, because it's us who every single month for about a week to a week and a half have to go through this kind of horrible thing that our body forces on us whether we want it to or not, that affects how we look, feel, eat, think, sleep, function. I would say the best thing a partner or supportive other, significant other can do during that time is validate. Don't necessarily jump on the crazy irrational bus with us, but like, yeah, I think you can fly too, but before you try it, let's go get you some froyo. Yeah, it does suck everyone was totally mean to you today, and when someone told you you were pretty, they were just being patronizing. But before you send that nasty email, let's go get you some froyo. Yeah, it is frustrating that your favorite pair of shoes are now your least favorite pair of shoes. But before you go burning them, I got some froyo with your name on it. Validate. Validate and feed us. Oh boy. Well, thank you for letting me rant. It felt so good to finally get this out. I would love it if any of you wanted to share some of your personal, irrational PMS experiences. Leave a comment and let us all help each other feel a little better. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh! I think I got it too. Oh, gross.